Hi, today I wanted to talk about some stuff I found on the Internet Archive. I was digging around for a while. Last week I published a video about some books I'd found by Peter Norton. And I've been looking around and, like, for example, you get these old computer magazines, and I remember I used to read this Dr. Dobbs journal because it was mostly about programming. And so there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. But there's also just general computer magazines in here that you can just search for. So Byte is a good example of one that's around from before. But after digging around in here, I found this, which I found very interesting. It's an old book, and inside it has an easy, simple game written in BASIC called Mugwump, and basically it's a hide and seek game. You try and find the Mugwump. There's a grid, and then the Mugwump is hidden somewhere, so you type in a point on the grid, and then the system will tell you how far away from the Mugwump you are, or if you found it, then you win. So, and then you get a limited number of guesses. So I decided, well, this looks really interesting, and I'll just do this in a modern computer. Now, BASIC is still available for just about every platform. So free BASIC, you can get a compiler for Windows, DOS, and Linux. But I just thought, well, why not try something a bit different, more like Visual BASIC, but on a Linux machine. And Gambas is that. It's basically Visual BASIC, more or less, or certainly influenced by Visual BASIC, on a Linux machine. Now, I decided that I was going to make this and adapt it. So, using Gambas, I redid this game. Now, I didn't use all the functionality that this has, like I didn't use sub-functions and things. I tried to make it in one pass, the same as the original game, but I did have to adapt it quite a bit. Unlike Visual BASIC, you do have to initialize all your variables in Gambas, and then I just have some instructions, whether you're a winner, the message when you win or you lose, and just like the good old days, there is a go-to statement with a but basically this sort of loops back to see if you want the rules or not, and if not, then it'll start playing. So when it plays, it just goes until guesses are 0, and it asks you what the grid you want to input, so height and width on the grid, and then whether or not you found it, and it tells you whether you did, and if you didn't, then it tells you your distance away from it in a straight line. Now this is actually the hypotenuse of the triangle. So if you look at the sort of grid system, if we pop back here, if you were looking at the grid system and you put, I don't know, 8, 8, it would go here, then up, and then it would calculate the hypotenuse. So when you're getting this value, it's basically telling you the hypotenuse. So that's it. I mean, it's really simple game. So if we just want to play, we can get the rules. It'll print it out. It'll ask, this is basically the go-to, so it goes back and asks me if I want the rules again. No, I don't need them again. And so 3 and 3. So the Mugwump is 2 units away from me in a straight line. Okay, so best guess, let's try 5 and 5. Still 3 away. But you see how this game works, and it's not anything difficult. And this should be my last guess. And I failed to find it, and it's eaten my crops, and that's it. I'm going to die. So that was basically it. But I mean, if you're looking for programming exercises or just interesting sort of stuff. Digging around on the Internet Archive is a really interesting place to be. There's just so many of these old computer magazines on there, and you can read about the sort of retro computing. But Dr. Dobbs was specifically around programming, but you can just look for basic or you know, whatever you want. And hopefully in the metadata it will, you know, show you what to do and how to do it and all that sort of good stuff. But you can find some decent programming exercises in here, and it's pretty interesting just to look back and see what there sort of was available during the day, back in the day. Okay, so that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. If you've watched this long and you enjoy this sort of thing, please like and subscribe. I know everybody says that, but it would be really good if you could like and subscribe and push the notify button so that you see these. I'm not sponsored by anybody, so if you're looking at ads, then YouTube put the ads in, not me. And I'm not got any Patreon or anything like that. So if you want to help out the channel or help me, just pass along the channel to people that may want or be interested in watching. And have a look at my publishing website, xgipublishing.com, and see if you want any books, because if you buy my books, that helps me a lot. Okay. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon.